hard to make pork chops and keep your stovetop clean. Oh, goodness. Good morning, everyone. How are you? It is the middle of January. I mean, I guess it's the 14th of January, isn't it? So it was a pretty dramatic weekend. Ups, downs, and oh, Jesus, you know? So, I guess we could start with the ups. Of course, OSU won their football game, which is pretty great. And that means that Matt and his father and his sister got tickets and are going down to Georgia for the national championship, because Dad's never been to a national championship. None of them have. But his dad really wanted to go. So they're going. And I think that that's fantastic. It's the most wonderful thing ever. Probably means we won't be going to Puerto Rico this spring, which is fine. I'm totally fine with that. I would rather they go and do that as a family together than, I mean, we'll have plenty of time to go to Puerto Rico. You know, national championships may not be once a year, you know? So I'm very glad and very excited for them. So that's next Monday. The whole ticket process was a lot easier than the ticket process for the, what was it? It was because they just played Texas, and I forget who they played before that. It wasn't Tennessee. I don't know. I don't remember. Honestly, I don't. But that ticket process, there were issues because of a leaked code. This one, because they were doing it through the Buckeye Boosters, I think. A group that gives money to the athletic department every year in the tune of millions of dollars. They were able to secure 3 tickets and 2 hotel rooms through them. And so are able to go. They'll have airfare. They'll get down there. It'll be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited for them. It'll be great. Can't wait to see the pictures. However that might be. So, and then at the very same time that the OSU Buckeyes were winning, Matt's aunt passed away that evening, Friday. Time I'm not exactly sure, but on Friday. So the last of his aunts and uncles passed away. So that's really sad. We got to spend Thanksgiving and Christmas with her. She was always in tip-top shape. Her mind was always sharp. So we were able to have a nice time with her. Showed her some old videos that he had transferred from VHS to digital. So she really enjoyed that. Yeah, so that was really sad. But as my mom said, when I let her know what was going on, she's earned it because she got up there, at least 80 something, you know? So, I mean, she's earned her rest. It's a way to put it. That's the good and then the bad. And then we got the middle, which is just more annoying. And we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, I got my spritzer over there, but I made a mistake of not spritzing. So now we're retention out the yin-yang. That's all right. I can clean that up. It's not a big deal. It's just hilarious. It's more funny than anything else. But yeah, I got a lot of static. I just have to remember, you know, I do so much other coffee that's got a coating on it. I forget when I get the specialty coffees that are just coffee. This is the coffee family's Columbian. Absolutely delicious. Smells very chocolatey today. Very chocolatey today. That's so nice. May have lost a couple of point grams in our retention here. I mean, look at that. Ugh. No, well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's okay. So, the middle of the road one that's just annoying. Washing machine decided to die. After 16 years of life, our LG that even if you looked at it today, it still looks brand spanking new. Water started coming out of the back of it. And we have a water sensor on the ground. So the minute water touches that water sensor at any point around the feet area, it goes off and it's the loudest thing. And so it went off and we're like, oh God, what's happening? And water started coming out of the back of the washing machine. Because we are not plumbers, we are not electricians, we've decided, hey, somebody haul this away and we'll get a new one. So we're getting a new LG. It's basically the same, except this one's far less chrome-like trim around everything and white. So dryer seems fine. They're about 16 years old, both of them, because we bought them both when we bought our brand new house, our first house. That was not brand new. It was a 1976 built model. It wasn't even a model, it was just a house out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, there's a German Shepherd. The amount of yellow spots in the snow out on phase 2 must be obscene. Just dogs just peeing everywhere. It's just kind of a roadmap for like 2 weeks worth of, in the springtime, dogs peeing outside. And it's just, ooh, gross. It's just gross. All right, let's do ourselves a little bit of a bloom here. So watching some Lance Hendricks coffee videos and watched how he poured, and I'm like, maybe I could do better with my pouring and degassing and whatnot. So trying to follow along with that, not put too much water in there, try to get it more in the center so that the water kind of comes and then kind of gets absorbed all the way around, so when the coffee wakes up. He also did some interesting things with bloom times. He did a 30-second bloom, and then he did a minute bloom, and then he did a 2-minute bloom, and he said some coffees seem to benefit from a 2-minute bloom, but not enough to recommend a 2-minute bloom. So I'm gonna go for about 400. We're gonna do it in little bit of pulses, I guess this is what those called. So yeah, so we had to go buy, we bought a new one yesterday. It won't be here until next Tuesday, which is a tad aggravating because it actually died in the middle of a soapy mess with towels and bed sheets. So we're gonna have to wait to rewash those a week. They're sitting out drying, so, or they've been drying, so they should be okay. It's just a matter of just annoyance because they're all in the bathtub right now, laid out, drying out. So, but that's okay. So yeah, I think Puerto Rico is pretty much not going to happen this year, which is absolutely fine. I think he still wants to go to Medellin, Colombia, in August. He wants to go. I mean, and I would love to too. But the flower festival is happening down there, and we were down there in February. Interestingly enough, we'll go for the full 450. Why not? Interestingly enough, in February, there seem to be fewer flowers, which is weird for a place that's perpetually spring. But a lot fewer flowers. I mean, the flowers were still there and they were gorgeous, but just seemed to be a lot fewer of them. But it was still beautiful. The garden down there, the main garden down there was absolutely gorgeous. So he wants to go down in August because they have the big flower festival floats and a parade and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, well, that'll be all right. As long as we have our friends with us who know how to speak and are helpful, you know, that's cool. I'm fine with that. Being by ourselves down there would be absolutely frightening beyond belief, you know, for me. I had the friends with us, and I already felt like I was having panic attacks every like 2 hours. So, and that metro is really scary for me, you know, not for anybody else, of course. But for me, I was like, I just see all the danger, and it's not because it's in Columbia. I'd feel the same way in New York or Chicago. It's just the amount of people. And it's not that it's not the getting like robbed or hurt or anything like that. It's just the sheer amount of people. It was just a lot of people in a confined space. And it was just undesirable. Well, about 3.5 minute drawdown with those pulses. That's pretty nice. It's a very good bed. I like that bed. It doesn't seem like there was any channeling. Everything just went. So I think we got the most out of this batch of coffee that I blitzed up. That could have gone a little finer probably, but it's the first one. It's Tuesday, just whatever. Yeah, so next week's going to be a little weird. Monday is going to be, he leaves Sunday. They're going to leave Sunday. I don't know if it's a midday thing or what, but they're going to leave Sunday, and then Monday's the game, and then Tuesday they'll be coming back, and I don't know when they'll be coming back, so they might be coming back at the exact same time. I got to be here letting the guy with the washing machine in. Hopefully it's 2 guys. Those things are heavy. You want a heavy thing? Fiddle with a washing machine. Dryers aren't so bad. At least our dryer is not that bad. But that washing machine, getting it around into the back so that we could get the everything mopped up. Because, there was enough water down there to be annoying. So we mopped all that up. And, of course, when we moved the washing machine, it was gross under the washing machine because it hadn't been moved in 5 years now. It sat there for 5 years. But yeah, we bought that washing machine when we moved into our new house, and washing machine and dryer. So it's lived a pretty good life. It's hard to fault an appliance that decides to go after 16, 17 years. It had a 10-year warranty on the drum and motor. That obviously had passed. So, and I don't think it's the drum or the motor. Their hoses are in there and probably have just something's happened. So we're just going to get a new one because it's about due for a new one anyway. So it's just, if you're able to, and there goes the towel. If you're able to, you might as well just try to get something new if you can. So hopefully that can be fixed up. Somebody that knows better than we can fix it up, and somebody else can get themselves a brand like new, even though it's 16 years old, LG front-loading washer. So I think we got our money's worth out of it. But that was an annoying thing. So, OSU won, which is great. And I think they were really worried about tickets because the window is probably going to be small. They do allotments to OSU, and then OSU does the allotments to the groups. And what's horrible about a lot of this stuff is that season ticket holders to that stadium where they're going in Georgia also get like first dibs. So people were already selling their season ticket for like $2,500. And I think the face value of those tickets were like between $600 and $800. So they were just selling their seats for $2,500. Which, is their prerogative, whatever, but still, it's just, gross, make your money, but I can still look at you funny, it's just the way it is. Ooh, God, it's so good. It's naturally processed, so it's got a little bit of that kind of fruity, kind of juiciness to it. It's not too acidic. It's not bitter really at all. It's just a nice balance of tastiness. There is a little bit. It's not really acidic. There is acid in there. It does taste not sour, but funky. And then there's a little bit of a salt taste to it. But I don't know. I don't know how to describe the funk. It's not like something I've ever had before. I've not had exotic fruit, but I can tell, when something is sour and tastes, like fruity. Fruity Pebbles tastes fruity, But you can't discern any kind of fruit flavor, mind you, but you can associate that with a fruity flavor. It's not as extreme here, but it's kind of the same in that way where you can like that. There's a fruit there. I don't know what it is, but it does taste very citrusy. And it tastes so good. It's just really nice. It's a nice, balanced, well-flavored, kind of salty on the back end, strangely enough. Delicious coffee. It's great. I love it. I'll try to grind it finer tomorrow. Maybe we'll stick it in a maca pot tomorrow. I was watching Stanley Tucci, Italy, is on like Max. I think it was a CNN show, but it's on Max. Normally those kind of shows are weird. Stanley Tucci brings a wonderful kind of soothing presence, and you know it's not going to be like cringy, or it's not going to be something where you're like, you know what, I don't want to watch this. It's like every segment in the first show was when you not only learned something, but you got a sense of the flavors that the chefs were presenting to them. And it was like Neapolitan pizza and cakes infused with limoncello, fresh mozzarella. They were showing where the mozzarella was made from. What was it? It wasn't bison. It wasn't really cows. It was it bison? No. It was some cow, something in the steer family. I don't remember. It wasn't a cow, though. It might have been. They might have called it bison. I don't know. It was definitely. It was not a cow, as we know it. But yeah, fresh mozzarella and San Marzano tomatoes from actual San Marzano, not the tomatoes that are canned in another part of the world and are called San Marzano on the can. So like actual San Marzano tomatoes for the pizza, and it was really good. That's definitely one I would recommend you watch. It's got 2 seasons on it, and Stanley Tucci is just one of those very stoic, interesting, well-spoken, not only actors but presenters. It's just great to listen to. So he's pretty fantastic, and in the first episode, if that's what's to come, then the entire series is very binge worthy, because it's just him walking around Italy talking about the history and and the food, which is just fantastic. Oh, that's really good. Colombian coffee is excellent. And I've been to Colombia. I'm just going to put that out there because I'm aware. And oh God, I don't know if I want to get into this or not. Somebody really aggravated me just a little bit too much, telling me that I am uneducated and I should educate myself. And it was just because of a slip. It was just a slip of the tongue. I said American rather than English. And I'm fully aware that America is 2 continents, and I'm fully aware that America has far more language range. I mean, even Spanish doesn't encapsulate the amount of languages that are part of both North America and South America, the Americas. I am completely aware of that. I just accidentally said American rather than English. And immediately someone's going to jump into your comments and call you uneducated because you accidentally said, and it's somebody that's not watched for the past 2 years. It's somebody that's taking a slice out of one show where you accidentally said something incorrectly and will call you uneducated because of that accidental speech. Now you're uneducated. Now you don't realize. Now you think America is just English speaking, and I am fully aware. I just accidentally said American rather than English, so I'm fully aware. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for telling me to get educated. I already am. I'm fully aware, And hopefully this year we'll get to go down to Medellin again to see that flower festival happening. I think he said it was around August time. That would be fun and beautiful. Try to stay in someplace different. The place where we stayed was beautiful, but the surrounding area was, I mean, we had a church right next door. So, I mean, if you don't want to listen to those bells, or if you don't attend church, it's probably not the best place to pick to sleep, you know, or try to sleep for 4 days. That was already a little bit harrowing, just because you are just the most fish out of water, you know. A good night's sleep will help reduce that stress, and it was just really difficult to get that in the area where we were in. Although it was an interesting slice of life, because right next door you had a business that was repairing its roof, and that was really interesting to watch. You had these people on bicycles with speakers, and I couldn't understand what was being said, but it really sounded like propaganda. Because, I mean, I don't know why they would be coming down a street with speakers on a bicycle and not play music and it not be like a propaganda kind of thing. So, and then the church next door was beautiful. It was just, it's like 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. The bells would go off, and it was right next door, so you couldn't miss it. But it was still beautiful. It was beautiful, and I'm excited to go back, which is interesting. I never thought I would say that, because, you know, there were some harrowing times down there, and I'm like, I really don't know if I want to do this again. But I think it'll be nice. I think it'll be exciting and fun. And I think now that I know what to expect, it'll be a lot more something that we can get into. So, but, you know, I'll miss Puerto Rico this year. I was kind of hoping we would be able to go back, because that place is gorgeous. Old San Juan is just a beautiful, beautiful place. The brick streets are gorgeous. The architecture is amazing. Yeah, it's just a gorgeous place to be. And then maybe seeing some more of that island of Puerto Rico, or just going back to Vieques, because oh my God, Vieques is just gorgeous. The most beautiful. I've never seen water so blue, and wildlife, so much wildlife, and horses, of course. And then, you know, going out into the ocean or the Caribbean Sea. I want to do that again. But I can wait a year. If we have to, I can wait a year. It's not a problem. I would rather they go down and spend time as a family down there, especially after losing Aunt Kate on Friday. That's so sad. But like Mom said, and I agree with her completely, and I always feel this way when it's somebody, you know, and we can be sad. I'm not saying don't be sad that they're gone, but, you know, sometimes it just, they've earned a rest, you know? They've earned a rest. I don't get into the mysticism. I don't get into the religion. I don't get into that stuff. But I do believe that, you know, to pass away in your sleep is the dream, I think. You know, the dream that never stops. And I think that's kind of nice in a way. Just fall asleep. Anyway, sorry, it got a little dark there at the end. But yeah, I mean, it's, you just have. I'm not into religion in any way, shape, or form, but you know, I do believe that it's, you know, people earn their rest, especially if they have health problems, you know. And she seemed fine. Of course, she wouldn't talk about her health problems, because that's just, honestly, that's just the Smith way. You have to drag stuff you had to drag stuff out of them, to be honest. Some days I have to drag stuff out of Matt, so. So the tradition continues. Unlike his father will send you pictures of his toe that's infected. He will happily show you the bruising around the area where they had to insert the line in order to do a heart ablation, which happens to be down there. So happily show you that. Just like, look, my bruise is getting better. And it's like, oh, okay. He'll happily do that. So it's like, it's just a weird back and, it's just weird how, we'll have to see how Matt goes, having both of those traits within him fighting against each other. Oh. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great evening. And we will talk to you tomorrow. Get a cup of coffee. We'll see you later. Bye.